to this computer.
Oh,
Happy
cool.
5, actually.
Happy 5.
Happy 5. All right, so I wanted to ask you to start out with what did you think of the Thich Nhat Hanh quote at the top, which was at the top of your study guide questions?
Mhm.
I'll read it to you in case you don't have it in front of you. He says, "The miracle is not to walk on water. The miracle is to walk on the green earth in the present moment, to appreciate the peace and beauty that are available now. It is not a matter of faith, it is a matter of practice." And Donna Westerman, I thought there's supposed to be 6 of us.
Is Donna on, Joan?
She's coming.
Oh, okay.
Give her a second.
I have to ask you a question, Joan, that probably is a little embarrassing. What page are you on
Page of what?
for that quote?
Oh, hi, Donna.
Hi there. So
Uh,
sorry.
That's okay, love. I sent you the study guide questions,
Right.
Oh, I missed
and at
that.
the
It's
top of the
the
study
top.
guide questions, there was this Thich Nhat Hanh quote.
I don't think I saw it either, Margaret.
Oh, I was like, oh,
I was away a lot of
yeah.
last week, so I missed a bunch. But
Okay, so, but you do have it in your email
Yeah.
because I know I sent it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
so I just want to make sure that Donna knows we are recording.
I do.
Okay, dear. Okay.
Good, good.
Just closing the blind so you're not blinded by the windows.
What isn't that song? Blinded by the light.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
right.
my glow.
Love it. Okay, so the spiritual law for these lessons is the spiritual law of compensation, which is cause and effect. So the law teaches that every thought, every action has a consequence. Some are positive, some are negative. So remember, thoughts become things. Thoughts actually manifest tangibly. So I know we've talked before about the thoughts of finding a partner. Well, when you find the partner, he or she, whatever your preference, will tangibly appear. We want to be so super careful about our thoughts. Now, that doesn't mean we have one thought on a particular day because we're feeling down and that's going to affect us for the rest of our life. I don't believe that. But it's that reoccurring thought where we put feeling into it, where we're actually manifesting something. Margaret and Donna and I, actually, and me, we manifested a man.
Yeah. One that's been around for a while for me, but that's for a lot of came
Well,
back.
that's okay. And
It's like a
we didn't,
boomerang. They just
there are
come
no
back.
rules, right? We remember when we have these thoughts and when we manifest, we don't say how it's going to happen.
Mhm.
That's not up to us. That's up to the universe. So just remember, pay particular attention from now on. What am I thinking?
Mm.
Because so many of our thoughts we're not even aware of. We just have them. And then someone may say something to us and what? Really? Did I say that? Be much more vigilant is really, which is basically what this is about. So there's a theme for these messages, and in harmony, Ariel saying, focus on the good. Remember, energy flows from emotions and thoughts. Wherever your thoughts are, that's where your energy goes. Wherever your emotions are, that's where your energy goes. So think of the power that you have every moment to choose your thought. Decide what action you want to take, and then the energy follows. In illusion, we question the intentions when deciding on the focus of energy. In other words, are we focusing something that's external, that really has little value, but it's very appealing in the moment? Or do we take our time or check within, and do we focus on things that have a more intrinsic value to us? Teenagers are so taken with illusion, right? The fastest car, the prettiest dress, the best vacation,
Mhm.
all of that stuff. It's an adolescent perspective of joy. Also, in adolescence, we desperately need to have approval externally. As we get some wisdom, hopefully, we don't need so much external approval. So in illusion, that's what she's asking us to pay attention to. In introspection, we're reminded that our intentions create the mood and the energy of the circumstance. So we can go, let's say we're invited to go and have lunch with somebody, and we've agreed, but we're not crazy about that person. And the last time it didn't work out that well. So we leave our house and we're already into, oh, I hope today is going to work out better. I remember last time, and mind is going back in the past. And we're starting to create that uneven energy of exchange. We already created it.
Mhm.
So we get there, and guess what's going to happen?
Exactly
You,
what I
you
thought.
know what's going to happen, right?
Mhm.
Whereas we've accepted the invitation. Okay, well, if I've accepted it, then I'm going to put my best foot forward. This is going to be a lovely luncheon, and that's what we put forward. Will it work 100% of the time? Maybe not, but we'll feel better about it. So that's where she is with introspection. Any questions about that before we go through the work? We're good?
Good.
So let's start with harmony. Were any of you able to start a gratitude journal? Or maybe you have one. I don't know.
I actually started one, but before I read this for some
Oh,
reason.
good.
Yeah, so somewhere along the line, I decided that it needed my journaling needs to be less about bitching about something and
Oh, that's a good idea.
acknowledging something. It doesn't work. I mean, seriously, if you complain about something, you put it on paper, man, it ain't going away until you decide.
No, and you're going to manifest it.
Mhm.
You've actually
Yeah.
written it now, and you've been very clear to spirit. Exactly. The questions, which I think they're interesting, are as in this case, it says record, but it could be when you think about what you're grateful for today. Are you grateful for different things today than you would have been grateful for 10 years ago or 20 years ago?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why? What's the difference?
Um, the one thing that pops in my head is the word freedom.
Mhm.
Because I have a lot, things are opening up for me and I now have the freedom to really determine what I want to do next. And yeah,
What about other folks? Lynn?
So, when it said make a gratitude journal, I just started right then, right? What am I grateful for?
Oh, great.
No,
Mhm.
it's
Oh,
in
right that moment. Oh, okay.
right that moment. I mean, that was the question it asked. So it's like, okay. And so, um, some of the people in this might be, excuse me, might be different than they would have been 10 years ago. But in fact, actually, most of them are not. Most of them are the same as they would have.
Mhm.
A few things were different. Um, so uh, you asked the question, would it be different? Not necessarily. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, but for gratitude, anyway, at least for me, I have longtime friends.
Mhm.
Can't hear you, Joan.
What about other folks?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I think I might have answered the question differently 10 or 15 years ago, just because I was at a different stage in my life and different. It wasn't as, I don't think I was as engaged spiritually or with my soul as I am today. So I think that the answers would have been different because of that.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, there are people who I was thankful for 20 years ago that I'm still thankful for. But in terms of values and other things in my life, I don't value them as much as I value them differently than I would value them today. And I'm talking more material types of things. I don't value material types of things like I once did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. How
I,
about other folks, Anita or Alyssa?
well, I was going to say, I agree with Donna. I kind of echo some of what Donna has just said because, and this sort of morphs into, the next area, the area of illusion. When you were talking about the adolescent perspective of joy, okay,
Mhm.
needing external types of things. So anyway, my point is that, like Lynn, I have a lot of longtime friends, but like Donna is saying, it seems as if in some ways, some of my relationships with them or the way in which we relate or the way in which we connect are different. Um, so that's very, very interesting to me. Anyway.
Yeah, and I think, at the peak of my career, when you're striving for success at work and, those types of things, your values are different than,
Mhm.
when your career is wound down and you're able to focus more broadly on other things in life that are important. I
And
will
what
say,
about,
I was
yes,
going to say, the other thing I was going to say is an observation I made in my mom as she aged, is she became more depressed and kind of the weather was a huge effect on her. And she was always glum and gloomy. And I got her a little sign at one time that said, "It's a good day to be happy." I'm like, "Mom, just put this somewhere where you look at it, because really every day is
oh,
a good day to be happy. And you have that choice."
that's
Right.
fabulous. And did it make a difference for her?
Yeah, I think it did. I mean, she kept it. She basically, as her mobility declined, was limited to one room, and it was prominent in that room.
Yeah.
And so she found joy in looking out the window and seeing the birds and watching her gardens flower. Some of those kinds of things. But she still could lapse into oh, it's so great today. Oh, it rained. I'm like, well, you don't have flowers if you don't have rain, Mom. So, kind of remember that, So anyway.
That was a great idea. Great
Mhm.
idea. Alyssa, what about for you?
Uh, what's the difference between now and 10 years ago?
Yeah, or
Life,
20 years ago, or you pick the time
life
frame.
experiences. I mean, I can just feel the energy from all this lived life and where we are today. And like Lynn, I've heard about gratitude journals and journaling in general, and I just haven't had the energy to slow down and look at that and put it to paper. I'm always moving, going, trying to create new things to be gratified about, grateful for, I should say. But I too, when I read that, I was like, I'm starting today. And in listening to all of you speak, I'm reminded at one point I found an actual hardcover journal, gratitude journal that
Wow.
is so well done. I'm going to find it and I'll share, some
Wonderful.
pictures of things. I don't know if we can all find it again, but I've carried that thing around for years and never put pen to paper, but I'm going to start today. And
Good.
the thing about that is I haven't wanted to write in it because I haven't been in the mental space to be thankful.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for a lot of things and I express gratitude, but because of where I've been, so kind of stuck,
Yeah.
that I'm just busy looking for the next thing to be thankful for instead of being still. So this will help me be still.
Amen.
Can
We
Mhm.
I?
see, we see you emerging right from that little egg into a whole new world, Alyssa. I'm
Joan,
sorry,
can
Lynn,
I
you
just
wanted, yeah,
clarify something? I have
yeah.
had gratitude journals in the past and I have written in them a lot. But for this particular exercise, I decided I'm just going to do it right here on the paper right now
Good for you.
Mhm.
because there are things that I'm very grateful for every day.
Mhm.
So, but I don't always put it in a journal, but I have had them for a long time.
Mhm.
And I think the next, it's kind of like sometimes the question for me is, what's my lesson in this?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when challenges show up, when I'm doing the gratitude, but still sometimes when challenges show up, I'm actually, it's my habit to say, what's my lesson in this?
I'm
Mhm.
glad you said that because that's the second question of
Right.
inquiry. Is what challenging situations brought you to a greater awareness of childhood hurts that have continued to frame your perception?
Mhm.
So we can be grateful for something and then there's another part of it
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
possibly we need to look within, or we're not grateful for something. It's sort of what Donna was talking about her mom. It's cloudy and it's raining. All right, so mom was taking in the grayness of life.
Mhm.
Donna is bringing her mom to the attention of, but without the rain, mom, you wouldn't have those beautiful flowers. Yet there's something about focusing on the gray, the sadness, that is saying, whoa, whoa, wait, what is it inside me? What little hurt do I have? Maybe big hurt. What
Mhm.
hurt do I have that I keep going back to? It's cloudy and rainy and I feel bad about it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, what awareness, if any, have you had doing this work?
I'd like to jump in if I could.
Sure, of course.
So one of the things this particular session was really helpful to me, but if I took question the thoughts to ponder, the two and three together,
Yes.
and one of the things that I came up with is that I just want to share with folks that I had a very difficult time in my life a couple of years ago. And there's a person who chooses not to move on from that past. So I've been trying to examine, well,
Mm.
how is this person a catalyst of my own healing?
Oh,
And so what I came up with, and I really, I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's helped me, I think, tremendously. It's this wound of not being accepted, not being good enough, and this person is like the symbol of that. So this was really heavy for me.
Mhm.
Just because of the circumstances. And, this person probably will never accept me for who I am, but I have to move past that. And I have to realize that she is the catalyst for me,
Mhm. Mhm.
the healing catalyst. So I wanted to share that because
thank you so much
yeah,
for
I
sharing
mean, it
that.
was powerful, very powerful.
And
Mhm.
you know what ends up happening when we do more of this work and we understand that other people in our life project how they are feeling. They're projecting their story. So that's her story to accept or not accept, to acknowledge or not acknowledge. Then we
Right.
take it personally,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And
Exactly.
and when we really start to believe deep down, I am the child of God. God
Yep.
is love. This world was created for love, by love. When I really believe that, phew, it all goes away. It's that we
Yeah.
don't believe it though. We just don't really, but we believe it here.
Yeah. Well, we want to believe it, but there's so many distractions.
Yes, good point.
Joan, can
Yeah,
I say, when I ask myself when something uncomfortable happens, to me or somebody's rude or somebody, whatever,
right.
I ask myself, what's my lesson in this?
Mhm.
Like,
Mm.
it's like it takes the pain mostly away and
Right.
helps me to say, okay, well, you know, and it's just it's like, what's my it's a lesson. It's not somebody painful stabbing. It's something I need to learn. So what is it so that I can learn this and move on?
Mhm. I'll
So
share
then
with you.
let me
I-
just ask Lynn this one
oh, go ahead,
question,
sorry.
since you brought that up. Oh, that's okay. So you ask the question, you learn the lesson, then do you have gratitude for that person for triggering the lesson?
Maybe not necessarily gratitude,
Okay.
but I am always happy to learn the lesson. And I kept a lessons journal when I was in Uganda,
Mhm.
and I came home with like 46 lessons that I
Wow.
learned while I was in Uganda, and I wrote each lesson down, and I wrote, wow, what did I learn from this? And then and
Mhm.
Fabulous.
oh, they're still fascinating when I relook at that journal. Oh yeah, I remember when I used to feel like that,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but I
Mhm.
don't really feel like that anymore.
Mhm.
Great.
Even if that happens.
That's
It's
the
remarkable.
healing. Donna,
Well,
did
I was
you?
just going to share with you something that I wrote. I similarly wrote a page of gratefulness in the Ariel Speaks workbook, and I basically said I have come to believe that all of life is a teaching moment, an opportunity to grow and expand or contract and wither. I choose the former. I'm grateful for people, past and present, that have loved me, taught me, encouraged and discouraged me, shared their light with me, carried me, accompanied me, made me laugh, stayed with me when I cried, held my hand, stood by
Oh,
me, and challenged me. They have each given of themselves and enriched me.
Nice.
beautiful.
No, very nice.
That's actually a piece of poetry, if you ask me.
That's
That's
beautiful,
lovely.
beautiful, Donna.
Just lovely.
And that's all of what everyone's saying, right? I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah.
But you are getting to, as you wrote it, it seems to me, you correct me if this isn't so, you were coming to a place of gratitude,
absolutely.
right? So that it may have been a challenge, but
Oh, some of our best lessons come from the biggest and worst challenges we face.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And when
I'm
we
grateful now.
heal, when we really heal deep down, we are able to have gratitude. It doesn't mean that we liked what happened,
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
right?
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Alyssa, did you want to say something on this one before we go on, or and if not, that's fine too, but I didn't know.
Well, it's interesting you should ask me that because I didn't think I wanted to, and a thought popped into my head.
Good.
Amazing how spirit works. I'm just going to share something really quick.
There's
Because
no rush.
gratitude also is something that we don't need to share with everyone else, right?
Right.
These teaching lessons, it's about the energy it creates in us.
Mhm.
And this is a lot of information, but I live in Charleston, South Carolina right now. I moved here a little over a year ago because my ex-husband said if I moved here, he wouldn't pay for our daughter's college tuition. And I said, you can't do that. I can go wherever I want. He said, well, I'm not going to pay for it then. And I thought, well, I'll get her in-state tuition. But I had to live here a whole year plus do all these things. I gave up my where I lived, my work, my friends, but I was that committed as a mother and I didn't want to live in Northern Virginia anymore. Yesterday, I got the news that not through any big like email or I was dealing with this when I was in France, like things weren't turned in and I had to rush. But yesterday, my daughter's tuition bill came and I couldn't open it. I said, Olivia, open it. And I held my breath and she said, Mom, it's $18,000 for the semester, not 36.
Wow.
So my gratitude yesterday was I should be celebrating and telling the world. And this is what all my work has been to get to this point. And yet I don't need to because I just have this simple gratitude of, and I'm complimenting her. And she's like, Mom, you did this, not me. That should be all the gratitude I need.
Fabulous.
Mhm.
And
That
this
is That
The
is
thought that
so.
popped in because of Joan asking me. I popped in, Joan asked me, I'm sharing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Spirit says to me, ask Alyssa. So,
There you go.
this is the way it works. This is the way it works. And you have done so much work on all of this. So much. And so we come to a point, I mean, I think about my ex-husband, my long-term marriage. I had lots of anger. I mean, big time anger. And I can actually think about him today in my mind. I don't talk to him, but be grateful.
Yeah, me too,
Be
John.
grateful.
Mhm.
He pushed me to a corner that I didn't think I would ever go to.
Yeah.
But boy, what, as Anita will say, we're half Sicilian. You don't push Sicilians to the corner. We come out, we have a commitment like Alyssa talks about. We are going to make it happen. We are going to do it. But it wouldn't have happened if he hadn't done what he did. And that's why metaphysically they say that people that push us the hardest, our greatest teachers, are often the quote unquote angels, all decided prior to coming into incarnation. Okay, I'll be the bad guy this time. Yeah, okay, I'll take that on. I don't know if I believe all that, but I do believe that we each have a role to play. We're in each other's lives for a reason. I don't think it's accidental.
Right.
So when we get to that place, we can get to a place of gratitude
And freedom.
and
Because
freedom.
gratitude, by having gratitude, it opens up that door of freedom more and more and more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Margaret, you're very pensive. Did you want to say something or you just want to be pensive?
No. I've been listening to, I mean, I feel like my world drops into everybody else's world when they talk right now. And I don't have a kid that I'm paying tuition for. So, but the whole idea of, no, really, it's a shared, I guess it's all shared is the way I feel about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny, I just want to jump in and say one thing because I'm chuckling to myself. Alyssa just said freedom. And one of the words that I wrote down with an exclamation point in this lesson is freedom. And it's, we're so intertwined. It's
Yes.
just
That's the beauty of doing this work together. I'm so thrilled with all of it and the willingness to share. So can we leave harmony? Does anybody else have a statement about harmony? And how would you like to go to illusion?
I think illusion sounds interesting.
So I'm going to read to you what Ariel says about illusion. Life is like a carnival, splashy lights and colors on the outside, and function and structure on the inside. Sometimes we get caught up in the outward glamour of things and forget to check beneath the surface. If this has happened to you, see it as an opportunity to learn an important life lesson. True beauty lies in the heart of all things. So the first thought to ponder is, have you had the experience where fancy things, the cars, the jewelry, the handsome mate, make you feel like you're a better person, or that the outside world sees you as maybe better than you think you are? Has anyone ever had that experience?
well, I'm going to jump in because
Okay, good for you.
absolutely. In a part of my life that has now passed, um, I obviously was feeling either unworthy or searching for some kind of love and acceptance. And the desirable way of doing this was by attracting these two people into my life. And in order to keep them interested in me, I was buying things for it was all about a monetary, buying them, so to speak, to make myself feel more desirable, more loved, more worthy.
Mhm. Thank you, Anita.
Mm-hmm.
Other folks on this one?
It's interesting for me because I grew up on Long Island, where the attraction to things is obvious, right?
Right, right.
And part of my goal in leaving Long Island was to get away from that. I mean, we had my former husband and I left Long Island early in our marriage. We had very close friends, and I was just not interested in keeping up with the Joneses. And that was part of the reason why we did leave the island. I mean, and I still hear in them oh, we got this, oh, we've done that, oh, we expanded this, we've added that, I mean, and they're still stuck in it. And it's interesting to observe that. I mean, there are things I like jewelry and things like that, but I'm not fixated on it. I don't go into hock over it. I mean, I don't, I mean, it's just something that I enjoy. But it's not certainly an excessive behavior or anything like that. But it is something that I do observe in others, and I try to be aware of where it may potentially influence me.
So the real issue here, what Ariel's talking about, is self-acceptance, self-worth.
Yeah.
If we truly believe that we need something external to prove our worth, be it to ourselves or to somebody else, then we're obviously still struggling with, still challenged by believing in our own worth. And that doesn't mean that you don't have a nice car or you don't have a beautiful home. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, what does it represent in your life?
Right.
Why are you doing it?
I have a question that
Yeah.
kind of follows into this. So, what happens when you're around this wealth or people that focus on this and they like you and you don't have all that and they know it? So then you almost question yourself, well, what do they see in me?
Mhm.
Do you,
And what is your answer to that question, Alyssa?
my spirit, my energy, but I can't, you still have those self-doubts of like, well, I'm not like you, or I don't have that. And you want it, but it's not what's important.
You know it here, that it's not what's important. But what has happened to us is we grow up in a society, and Donna was talking about Long Island, Anita and I grew up in Long Island, but there are probably lots and lots of places that we could point our finger to and say, well, this is the way it is in Connecticut. This is the way it is in Rhode Island. We live in a society that places high value on materialistic things.
Mhm.
And we can look at each other today and say, but that's all a lie, right? It's an illusion. That's not going to make you happy. We've always heard all that. But we have to take layers and layers off to truly get to the point where it doesn't matter to us and we don't believe the lie because we live with the lie.
Especially like you said, I lived in Northern Virginia, DC. I'm now living on the most expensive piece of real estate in Sullivan's Island, Charleston. But part of my transition was when I did do this European trip. Most people do it and they have it, all planned out and great hotels and restaurants. And I just flew by the seat of my pants. And I lived with Europeans the way that, hey, this is just a normal thing that we travel around on the cheap
Right.
airplanes, or we live in these communities, or we eat at the neighborhood restaurant. And it refocused me away from being this American. And I don't mean to speak negatively of us because this is who we are and part of what's made us a great country and great people. But it just refocused me on, this doesn't have to be all about extravagance. This can just be a normal part of life that is enriching us and building communication and community.
That is such a great example. We would not think anything of getting in the car and, if you're in Virginia, drive to Rhode Island, or in Florida, drive to Georgia, wherever you want to drive to, it doesn't matter. Well, that's how the Europeans live because it's basically the same.
Right.
But we have this little fantasy. You've been to Europe? You went to Rome and I mean, and all of a sudden there are these stories and we've heard them a million times. We hear them on the television. We hear them from travel agencies. And so it's up to us to say, wait a minute, I don't want to live by the lies. That's what Donna was talking about. I
Mhm.
choose to not live by the lies. So to go and enjoy a lovely little cafe in Paris, that's wonderful. But it's not because I went to Paris. It's because it was a lovely little cafe and they have good bakeries.
And we get caught up in the perceptions, right? This is what it's supposed to be like. Or I
Right.
didn't post on social media because I didn't want people to think, oh, I'm this multimillionaire and, I can just take off for a month.
Good for you. That was a good experience for you. I'm so happy. Anybody else on this particular one? Otherwise, I want to go to the next question, which I really like a lot, number 2 of illusion.
Um,
Lynn,
I
yes,
don't know if it's the question, but
that's okay.
hearing everybody talk, it's really funny. It never even occurred to me that this was actually about my ex-husband and his need for the bigger, bigger, bigger house, which is, how we ended up divorced. It didn't
Oh,
occur to me.
Mhm.
What what
Mm.
what came to me about this was um, being accepted in a different way, in a criticism or non-critical way.
yeah,
And it's it's really it's what I thought of immediately was based on criticism, more
sure.
so than like the showing of the money. Um, and it just was like a different I had a different perspective, but it's funny because listening to everybody talk, I wrote, Al in the big house, my ex-husband, he made us go bankrupt. I didn't know a thing about it until it was
Oh,
all done and gone, and then I had nothing too. But you know what? I survived and it's all well, but
right.
um, it was really fascinating. It was actually, so it was a different kind of external validation.
Hmm.
But your
Mhm.
but your take on it is so valid. It doesn't have to be about material things, right?
Right.
It can
Yeah.
be it's the illusion of if I'm smarter, I'll be acknowledged more. I'll be thought more highly of. I'll get better jobs. Well, maybe we'd get better jobs, but the lie is still there. It doesn't matter which door we enter.
Yeah.
If we're living based on a lie, it gets to us.
Mhm.
Or, I always thought I depended on truth, but I realized doing this that I'm more bothered than I feel I should be by criticism from others.
Okay.
You know,
Mhm.
Okay.
it wasn't about money,
Right.
but that it really surprised me,
I
but
love that. I love it. When this surprises us, we've gotten another little kernel that we didn't know we had before that we had to heal. But that leads to the next question, which is what aspects of your personality continue to need the approval of others, while other parts of you are more independent of external validation. So which parts of you still need? Is it how pretty you are, how smart you are?
well, in my case,
Yes.
I just told it like I thought it and felt it, and I braced for the criticism. I knew it was going to come, but
Mhm.
it did come, and I said, "This is why I think this." This is a committee for the town. Why I think this, and it's kind of like, oh, well, the criticism kind of went back down to nothing. It was fascinating to
Which I
analyze,
think
think about this.
it gets back to the first question of harmony where we set our intention, right? But this question is, are there parts of you, of me, that still need external validation to
Mhm.
be okay, and what are they? because that's where I need to do the work.
Right.
That's what that question is.
I understand, but
Yeah, no, I get you. I hear you.
what I'm saying is I did it anyway,
Right.
you
No,
know,
I hear you loud and
whether I
clear.
was going to get the validation or not. But
Right.
it did come, which was kind of a nice surprise.
Very nice. Because you stood in your truth. So
Yep.
that there was a part of you that maybe criticism has been an issue, but when it came to this issue, it really was not an issue for you because you were going to stand forcefully and say what you needed to say.
Yep.
Interesting lesson.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about other folks? Is there a part of you that still needs some external validation? And if so, what would it be?
Okay, I've got to admit this. This was it's not horrible, but it slipped out of my mouth before I realized what I was saying. I found that there was a meditation session going on Monday nights, a block from my house at our Creative Arts Center that I didn't know. So I went to it and met the gentleman who is doing it. And he's Buddhist based. And he said, "So have you ever done any meditation?" And you know how it's sometimes the way they say it, you just want to, come back with something shitty. And I said, "Well, yeah, I have, not for, not ongoingly for a long time, but I actually studied to be a primordial meditation instructor with Deepak Chopra." I just had, I mean, it was like I couldn't stop myself. And he just looked at me and then he proceeded to tell everybody in the room about what he did and how he came about it and everything else. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh, Margaret, that was horrible. Just shut up."
So, darling, that's a wonderful example. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's the little girl part of you
Oh, yeah.
that is saying, look at me and what I have done. I mean, I've done that. I
Oh,
mean, I
oh,
have done that a number of times about the PhD. I get
oh,
it. I
oh,
know
yeah. Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
just call me Dr. Glenn, please. Okay.
Right,
Right.
right. It's that validation that I somehow questioned. Well, in
Mhm.
my case, it was two things. And one is a story I've told some of you already, but I'll tell you again. Don't get bored. So, as a kid, third or fourth grade, whatever it was, had a test. Mom said, when I got home from school, "How was your test?" "Oh, it was fine, Mom." "Well, what was your grade?" "Oh, I got an A." "Oh, okay, good, good." "Was your paper face side up or upside down because the A is on the front?" "Well, it was face side up." "Oh, that's not a good idea, honey. Turn the paper over because kids, particularly boys, they don't like smart girls." So I lived with that for a very long time, which is don't be smart, or even though you believe you're smart, don't express it. Don't express it. So for me, it worked in reverse.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then when I started to feel the freedom, then I was expressing it all the time. So I went overboard. And now I'm sort of back to middle. But this is how it works. So I think it was a great example, Margaret. It was super.
Yeah.
I yeah. I became my mother in that moment, I can tell you.
Oh.
I love it. All right. I think we've done, is anything more on this one before we move to introspection?
I'm gonna go out and find a stuffed animal. I've got to buy. I love stuffed animals. So when I saw that, I've got a little one that's a little this the Scottish coos. Those whatever I can't remember the actual name of the animal, and I'm going to have to carry that around with me. Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that because that bullet on illusion is key to our energetic child's healing.
Mhm.
It is key. I mean, sessions that I do, this is like one of the biggest things to work on. That inner child has got to know everything is okay. She is perfect as she is. That you will take responsibility, which obviously we haven't taken because our little girls, that's what happened to Margaret. Her little girl said, "Well, I studied the Deepak Chopra."
Does that count?
I think he's still freaked out. So I don't. It should behave.
And that's the way it comes out, the way a
I
little
know,
girl would
I
say
know.
it, right? So thank you for pointing to that particular thoughts to ponder. That's a very important one to work with. Okay, darlings, let's go to introspection. So introspection. Oh, this is such a good one, I think. Think of the seasons when you examine your life. Where are you now? In spring, waiting for rebirth, or in winter, hunkered down and sitting in darkness? Unlike the climatic seasons, which occur through planetary poles, your internal seasons are variable and can be changed by thought and intention. Regardless of the challenges occurring in your life, live through the truth as you know it. You are a child of God, loved, supported, and protected. So, what season are you sitting in?
I think I'm in spring.
Okay, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, it says waiting for rebirth. And when I talked about the primordial sound thing and everything, I go back to I have like a 5-year attention span. I learned something. I learned shamanism for 5 years. Then I did the meditation for 5 years. Then I did service dog work for 5 years. Then I mean, it's like, and I look back and it's like, well, you've got all of these little niches that you can now spring forward and bring out of the winter. I mean, not, I guess it's fall, winter, whatever
Right.
it is. Yeah, yeah, out of the winter. And it's time now to spring forward to use what I've learned over the years and to become, yeah, to have it just give birth to it, I guess. Yeah.
So, if we go, Margaret, and we could do this one at a time because I think the two come together, one person at a time. The first question in the study guide questions is, have you made a commitment to change your thoughts from fear to love?
Yes.
So whatever season we're in, is there fear related to it? Are we ready to step out? And if not, why not? So you're saying you're ready to
Oh
go.
yeah, I was like I just feel like I'm in a whole new space that I kind of wish I'd been in for a long time. But
Mhm.
it's the people around me, the things I get to do now, the things that I, can use and do from what I've done in the past to create the future that I want to see happen.
Good space.
Hmm.
Great. Well, who else wants to speak up to what season are you in?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Oh,
I
tell
mean,
us.
honestly, I'm not sure what season I'm in. I do feel like I have made a commitment to change from a place of fear to a place of love, and I think that's been a work in progress over the past 4 or 5 years. Um, but I'm not sure in terms of the connection with seasonal, changes where that falls.
That's so interesting to me, Donna, because don't you think every season, no matter which one we pick, we can either be in a place of fear or a place of love,
Right.
right?
I mean, I love the ebb and flow of the seasons, period,
Right.
in terms of nature and that type of thing. And I kind of like, I guess I feel like I follow that, but like I'm looking forward to the winter wind down, right? But in terms of my own personal space, I don't know if it's out of harmony with the climactic season.
Oh, yeah, and that doesn't matter. I mean, there are people that are sort of stuck in winter,
Uh-huh. Right.
right?
Right.
They're just stuck there.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really matter whether it's fall or it's summer.
They're always in winter. Right.
Yeah, they're
Right.
contracted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn, yeah.
I'm absolutely in spring.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I haven't wanted to have a relationship for a long time, but all of a sudden I do. And the reason I do is I met someone, doesn't mean he has the same feelings for me, because I can't tell that. But it has opened up something within me, him or someone better, you know?
Great.
But
Hmm.
it's a total, complete, utter surprise and shock. for me.
Well, hallelujah.
I know I haven't been interested for years, and all of a sudden, poof, okay.
Lynn, do you know what I've heard recently? It makes so much sense. When we look back at relationships with a partner, it's not so much about how they made how what they did, it's how we felt with them. So maybe this new person in your life, you have this feeling of I like who I am right now and how I feel. So whether he ends up being the one, you've got that bug, you've got that feeling of this is what I know is possible.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
That's
I
a
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about that, in that first question, have you made a commitment to change your thoughts from fear to love? It really doesn't matter. Is it because I want someone else in my life? I want a partner? Is it because I want to move to a new state? Is it I want to learn a new language? It doesn't matter. What matters is what is holding me back from whatever this dream is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what matters. And it's that, once again, that thoughts become things. And so when we have a fear, the work is, what is that fear based on? Or as Lynn was saying before, what is the lesson to learn from this? And Donna referred to that too, in all the different lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of it flows. We just show up. We just show up. What about anybody else on this one? Anita, did you have something on this?
Um, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I think in a general way, I think I've done a lot better about changing my thoughts from fear to love.
Mhm.
But because I think a lot of my past actions in my lifetime were based upon fear thoughts, fear and unfortunately the fear thoughts manifested lots of fearful things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really have too much to add to this.
Okay.
I'm in spring as well, and it's literally just sprung into spring. And I've been in winter for so long without even realizing it. It's almost like paralyzed. I was the hibernating bear. Like just
Mm.
let me be sleepy. I don't want to pay attention. And it just took a few things of spirit to awaken that spring and make me make me move forward and look at things more from a love perspective instead of falling back to fear. And when I do fall back into fear-based things, I at least acknowledge it.
Mm.
That's great.
That's good.
The remember we talked before about our mood, our emotions, our thoughts. The energy is going to follow wherever we are. So if we're in a high vibration, kind of a sunny mood, that's the energy that we're putting out. If in fact we are closed down or fearful, that's the energy that we put out. We will then attract to us a like energy because like attracts like. And that's what happens. So the example that is often given is that we have that power to choose. Do I want to be in a sunny mood? Do I want to be sad? And not to say sometimes we shouldn't be sad. We'll talk about that in a minute. But people in the most dire of circumstances can choose to be in that sunny place, can choose to find Viktor Frankl in his book when he was in the concentration camp,
Mm-hmm.
right? People who are in prison can choose to find the good of it rather than being a victim completely to it. That's true of every single thing in our life. Are we a victim to it? We're really not victims. Now, when we're young and we're children, maybe things happen to us where we were a victim, but as an adult, you are not a victim unless you choose to be a victim.
Mhm.
That's your choice. So in introspection is saying, we have this incredible power. I have this incredible power to change the energy of how I feel right now. And when I change how I feel, then the reality is life around me is going to change. And the last bullet, which I really, no, it's not the last, it's the second to the last. In Thoughts to Ponder, Ariel says, sitting quietly with feelings of sadness or disappointment is a form of healing. We don't want to ever deny our feelings. We don't want to wallow in them either, but we don't want to deny them. We cannot heal if we don't feel it. Keep making believe it didn't happen. Oh, it really wasn't that important. Oh, I didn't really care that much. Yes, you did. Yes, I did. I cared, and it hurt.
Mm.
So what Ariel is saying, sitting in that disappointment is healing. If your intention is to feel the emotion and then move on. But if the intention is to feel the emotion and stay in the motion, then maybe somebody will have pity on me. You're going to be stuck. I'm going to be stuck.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So just remember the power of your thoughts and the power of your emotion. And that's how we heal because we don't get stuck. We all have in the past. And some days maybe we need a friend to pull us out, but that's okay. That's why we're all here.
Right. Well, I think sometimes you benefit from allowing yourself to be stuck a little bit.
I agree.
You can have a pity party for yourself for a prescribed period of time, but to move forward, you need to climb out of that, right? I mean,
Exactly.
that's the sitting with it part of it.
I love that you said a prescribed period of time. I knew someone that said her husband had well, anyway, he desired a younger woman, and apparently he had been visiting with her during their marriage. And so she gave herself 30 days. She says, for 30 days, I'm going to feel sorry about myself, for myself. I'm going to hate him. I'm going to, if I want to feel bad about me or say bad things, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it all out in 30 days.
Mhm.
I thought, how interesting, a prescribed period of time.
Mm.
Did
And
she
then,
actually do the 30 days?
yeah,
Oh, I would say, yeah, if you were vomiting it all out, it might be a little sooner than 30
You
days.
might be able to work through it quicker.
I would think so too, but that probably speaks to our personalities,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
she needed to just be with it. And some days it was just
No,
sitting
it's
with it
perfect.
and just feeling crummy,
Yeah.
Right.
just
Mm.
feeling crummy.
So if I decide to have a pity party, I can invite everybody in. And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can
Yes,
bitch.
Margaret.
Huh?
I
What?
love that.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Margaret. You call me up.
That's the misery loves company part.
Yes,
Can you imagine this group actually pulling off a pity party? We never make it more than about 15 minutes before we're cracking up about whatever,
cracking up laughing.
which is
But isn't that
exactly
a
where I want to
wonderful?
be, exactly where you want to be.
Great.
Hmm. Yeah.
3, 4, 5 years ago now, and I didn't know you had to feel it to heal it.
Mm.
Ah,
My
Mm.
little girl, my wounded little girl, is because I was always taught you just get over it. You just move on, you be
right.
positive, you just keep working. And
Yeah.
so, unbeknownst to me, there's all this stuff that was stuck or still is. And so, my question is for those of us who don't slow down and sit with it because it's so foreign, how to say, body, it's okay to feel bad, or soul or brain.
So we go back to the Thich Nhat Hanh quote that's on the top of your paper. Practice.
Mm. It's
It's
not
all about,
right.
it's a commitment, right? It's all of this work. It's a commitment and it's practice. We can take 2 minutes out of every day. I mean, as busy as anyone is, everyone has 2 minutes. For God's sakes, you go to the bathroom for more than 2 minutes. Do it while you're in the bathroom. I mean,
Mhm.
we have 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to say,
Right.
you know what? I'm just going to sit here.
Mhm.
Just going to sit in stillness. Whatever comes into my mind comes into my mind. Let it come in, let it go out. I have nothing more to do. In fact, I remember, Donna, that one day back in the summer, and you had called me and you said, well, how are you doing? This was after I was sick. And I said, I'm doing nothing. I'm fine. I'm doing nothing. And you said to me, you're not doing nothing. You're doing something. You're resting. You're relaxing. I've never forgotten that. Because going back to what you said, Alyssa, no, that's doing nothing.
Yeah. You're working
Mhm.
and it is doing something.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. It was beautiful.
Yeah. It took the pressure off. It takes the pressure off.
Mhm.
Right.
It's affirmation.
Yeah.
What you gave her, Donna.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So using that word affirmation, here's the affirmation for these messages, which I will email to you later today or tomorrow.
Great.
I recognize and respect the power of my intentions and seek guidance from Spirit to assist me with choices that honor my commitment for peace.
Mm.
Again,
Mm.
I recognize and respect, excuse me, I recognize and respect the power of my intentions and seek guidance from Spirit to assist me with choices that honor my commitment to peace.
Mm.
When we are in peace, we are in love. We
Mm.
have no fear
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
when we're in
Mhm.
peace. Thank you for that. What's really interesting is I've never written affirmations before till I started doing this group. And then they just flow. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is so exciting. This is really fun.
Mhm.
But years
That's good.
ago, I must have had a thing in my mind, some kind of block that I wasn't good at doing affirmations because I probably wrote one and someone said to me, oh, no, 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 that doesn't do it. And so I shut down about it.
Mm.
So interesting, right? We
Mhm.
just release that stuff. Here it is. I say, Spirit, we need an affirmation. And then it happens.
Neat.
So we've come to another wonderful, wonderful time together. And we meet again on December 4th.
Okay.
And there are 3 messages: new beginnings, patience. You don't have to write it down. I'll put it in an email, but new beginnings, patience, and purpose.
Mm.
And so once again, I say, give yourself a little bit of time, take in what you heard today. Look at some of the messages again. Is there something more you'd like to write or something you'd like to think about? Because you've been enriched and nourished by everybody in this group. And then when you're ready, you go on to the next 3. So let's end today with each of you just one word of where you are in the moment. Alyssa, where are you right now? What a word or a sentence? Where are you?
Honestly, surprisingly, I'm a little overwhelmed. It was so much and so good. I'm just like bursting with like, what did you just go through?
Good.
Good way.
Enjoy it. Anita, where are you?
I am full of love.
Mhm.
Oh, good. Great. Margaret?
I'm comfortable. So is Gus.
Ah, sweet. Lynn?
I am peaceful.
Great. And Donna?
The word that immediately came to me is content.
That's a
Lovely.
good one.
Mhm.
Good one.
Well, thank you, everybody, for this most wonderful opportunity. And Margaret, thank you for
Recording.
recording. And we'll send it so that the 2 that had to miss today will be able to join in their own way. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Have a
You
great
too.
holiday.
Yes. Happy
That's
Thanksgiving.
good.
And see you soon. See you in a
Okay.
couple of weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.